The Habibi gang, running up the chat, make the place go bang. No ghost.
What's up, Habibi gang? Hello. Okay, today we're doing something entirely different. Nobody requested this, nobody asked for it, nobody's gonna watch it also. This is by Symphony X, Divine Wings of Tragedy. A very dramatic title for a dramatic song that is entirely too long. It's 20 minutes, 42 seconds. Enough talk. I hope you guys don't even know this song, by the way, and if you don't, join her into listening to it for the very first time. That's gonna be
being introduced to it.
Yeah, so that's gonna be nice. And let us know what you think. This is a song I haven't heard in ages. All right. I'm not telling you anything about the song.
Edge of paradise, tears of woe fall cold as ice. Hear my cry, renounce have you thy name. Eternal is my pain.
It's her face. I love this line now. Listen to this.
Oh, that's nice.
Now listen, you'll hear the progressive side of them, where beats will start to feel a little weird. Start now. If I remember correctly, solo number 1. This.
I love the bass.
Keyboard. Okay, before we proceed, because it's gonna be shifts and it's very sneaky. So far, thoughts,
I wasn't expecting that.
right?
Yeah, because it started off as if it's like a choir in the church, you know, that
Yep.
kind of singing. And I was about to ask you, how many people are there in the band? How many people are singing? And all of a sudden, it turned.
And it's a song from 1997.
Wow. And it's
And
that
I heard
kind
it
of,
back when it was released.
and this is metal, right?
No, around maybe 3-4 years after. Yeah, very much so. It's like progressive and symphonic.
It's a different kind of a sound.
That's what I'm saying. You haven't heard anything like this.
No.
So let's just go back like, just a couple of seconds. And all this, keep in mind, it's very much an intro. We haven't heard the singing yet. We haven't.
Really? They're singing? I wasn't expecting singing.
Did you hear the shift? I've never read the lyrics. Bass. I think it's 7/4. Yeah, I think.
There was a time when choir sang the
I just realized that was so stupid of me. I got so carried away with the music. I can see the lyrics. I heard the lyrics in the beginning and I just didn't realize they're lyrics.
All right, moving on. Because I told you the lyrics will be open here.
I know.
That's why I
I'm
didn't comment
looking
when.
at them.
That's why I didn't comment when you, because also you forgot it's 20 minutes. What are we gonna do in 20 minutes?
No, but you know what? I'm so taken by all the sounds
Yeah.
that, you know, when the solo came on, it reminded me a bit of Joe Satriani.
Oh, okay. I can see that kind.
And there's so many shifts. It started,
It reminds me of Dream Theater. It reminds me more of Liquid Tension, actually.
I don't know, Liquid Tension,
You know
but
Liquid Tension.
I know Liquid Tension?
Yeah.
Okay,
We will do some Liquid Tension.
fine. But I know Dream Theater and I agree with you. But that solo, to me, it took me straight to Joe Satriani.
Did you hear his voice?
Yeah, I did.
And see how is this not 4/4? It breaks. Then it goes to 4/4.
There was a time when choir sang the endless melody.
It's not 4/4.
of the land, music of the spheres. There was a place where mortals embraced thunder and majesty. Their fate lay in our hands. Feel my wings slowly fading.
It's in his voice.
Forever lost in time. I cry.
Oh, that's good.
I love this.
The burning conflict I'm feeling, it summons me to descend into the other side. And just beyond the stars blazing, a beam of light from our Lord's heaven moon.
Can you hear his voice?
illuminates me.
How it changed his voice?
How we'll devise from perfect skies a dark and vengeful day. Faith and mercy gonna stay.
do you think of his
I
voice?
like gown astray.
What do you think of his voice? You see how he changed from
Yeah.
This when he sang here, I was reminded by him, by his voice, when we heard Nightwish and Marco came into the picture.
Really?
Yeah, because Marco does like that kind of a voice when he does it. Here, listen here.
Illuminates me. How you devise
This is the
the skies and
listen here. This
peaceful day. Faith and mercy down the street.
But this is such a typical.
hey, another change.
With strength of infinite measure, the mighty sword divides order from chaos in the kingdom below, and from the mansions of glory, this empty soul cries out
Listen to his voice now.
one final plea. The end has begun. Our worlds collide. Now in disguise, you feel the wrath divine. Tears of war fall from the sky.
I'm so surprised how much I remember of the song, and it's been more than 10 years since I last heard it. That is insane.
Tears of war fall from the sky.
Listen to the bass now. It's gonna come now. I don't remember exactly what happens here. Oh, I remember now. Keyboard. I love the rhythm here.
How can you even think?
Solo. Keyboard and drum and guitarist going back and forth. Okay, hold up. We'll go back a little bit. What were we saying? You're gonna say how did they think of composing it in such structure, right?
No, I was gonna say, how did they think of matching the piano with that
Not
kind
piano,
of a
keyboard.
with that kind of a riff? Like how?
Yeah,
it's
that's
very,
what progressive metal does. Like when you should hear more of Liquid Tension Experiment. My absolute favorite instrumental band. We will do. If you guys want us to check out, if you know Liquid Tension Experiment, if you don't know
Isn't Liquid Tension the one when we listened to it on our live stream? Did we listen to you
Yes,
said on our
we
live
did
stream,
one.
and I said it, and you said it's a very mathematical
No.
way of
Well,
putting the music together.
no, that's Tool.
That's Tool. Okay.
But these guys, the Liquid Tension band is basically all the members of Dream Theater plus one more member from somewhere else minus the guitarist, minus the vocalist, James. So there are no singing there. But my God, that band is insane. Anyways, how is it so far? Isn't it an amazing experience?
Yeah, it's really good.
The bass is so strong.
The prophet cries.
Marco voice.
South battalion rage on in the sky. Rising from the north, the bringer of war. Evoke destruction. Summon all at the power of fire. Impending doom from shore to shore.
Listen.
Standing on the edge of paradise, I sacrifice my truth and loyalty.
Remember the intro how it was? With the vocals?
7 deadly sins consume you all and dance with death. I taste the victory.
Now listen to them coming back.
Rising from the north, the warrior brings judgment without compassion. Eyes of fear.
That was the intro. The camel is the pain that leads the temptation.
Sticks the gates of hell abandoned home. All ye who enter here. The prophets cry. Armies fall from the air to the sky. The prince of truth, now the bringer of war. The day of wrath. Banish all kings from the face of the land. Dominion, for strength is my name.
Yeah. Backwards.
Oh my God. All sorts of sound.
Listen to the beat. Everything is breaking here. You heard that part? This is the keyboard and the guitars are going at the very same time, note for note.
Yeah.
This is also something that Dream Theater and Liquid Tension do a lot of times. It is insane when you see it live.
But isn't this kind of similar to Nightwish?
Well, because of symphonic elements, probably. Because this was the first time for me, the first band that I've ever heard which had symphonic elements and metal. But we will talk about some, because I don't want to stretch the in between, especially for this. So here you heard how the song was breaking, right? It was like almost shattering and things are slightly falling out of control. I feel because of what's happening here, because he says, the bringer of truth. It's not Prince, I don't think. Now the bringer of war. The day of wrath. Banish all kings from the face of the land. Dominion for string is in my name. Afterwards, it's like becomes a lord of destruction. And then the music happens, right? Oh, I remember this now. Keyboard, guitar. Okay, before we proceed, this part with the this part is similar to what I was talking about when we were listening to Love Maids. I put Bandmaids and Love Bites.
Like Love Maids?
Love Maids is the name of a place that I go to when you're not in town. Well, better than Band Bites.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Which one? Love Bites or Band
Love Bites. So that part when they were doing this and they're playing the solo and she was going on the solo, that was the same scenario, the same riffage. This is like in the beginning.
majesty again.
Listen when he says heavens.
Looking up to the heavens, I can see what I've left behind beneath the stars, moon, and warm sun. And all I know is my paradise has begun.
I have so many questions.
Ask away, child.
One of them being is, how do you know when to end the song? Like, it's just like you feel like it's ending. It's okay, now it's at a crescendo, or now it's gone slow. Like, okay, now it's gonna end, but they just extend it. Like, how do you know when with things? It's 20 minutes. It's a 20-minute song.
Yeah, because
like,
it's a very epic song.
How do you compose this? Like, how do you know, okay, after this there has to be another composition, and then there still has to be more. But okay, you know what? It's now 20 minutes is done. I think now it's time to
No
end.
one does that.
Yes, I know nobody does that, but
Yeah,
that's just
but nobody
me.
looks at it that way, is what I meant.
So that's my point. Like,
So,
how
okay,
do you
fine.
know when
It
to
is-
end a piece?
Well, I mean, organically
Like,
it happens.
to me, when I'm listening to this, there's a point where it kind of fades, right? Towards the end. Like, I think just 10 minutes before the end. For me, I think that's the end. But I'm not nowhere near a musician. So
Nowhere, so how
no, I'm
close?
near to be a musician. So my opinion doesn't really matter. But to me,
It's
as
not
a
that your
listener,
opinion doesn't
for me,
matter.
I think this is where it should have ended. But to me, it's a very complex song, right? Complex because there's so many sounds that are happening. Like, you know, they will, and then you said, like, when it's breaking, and then all of a sudden the piano or the keyboard goes, and then there's a riff which is going with the keyboard, like, and then, you know, you hear something that sounds like chimes. It's just
Who cares?
so sporadic. It's
not. It's an organized chaos. It is a controlled chaos because it sounded weird. I felt it when I said it the second time around. Chaos it went, right? That's like the guy I used to make fun of. Remember? Yeah, your voice wouldn't absolutely not.
But you know what was so funny? It's like, let it go, let it go.
Even I didn't want to let it go. Is that laugh?
Said it again. And I'm looking at you, I'm reading your eyes, and your eyes are reading
No, the
my
first time
mind.
was okay. The second time, chaos. I even felt it when I said it. I was like, wait, why did it come out like that? And I was reminded by that person. I don't want to say who. Who used to say cows.
Go.
We're making fun of somebody who used to have a relationship with, who's of a certain origins, who would say instead of chaos, he would say cows every time in like a real discussion. He would say this was like this is we have to focus and get rid of the cows. The cows, get rid of the cows. He would say cows.
But to me, what cracked me up more than the mispronunciation was the eyes. We're reading each other's eyes, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
because
what is
I
going
caught
on
it.
here?
I caught it. I knew I caught it. It came out like that. I have no idea why it came out the way it came out.
And we both know.
Anyways.
Okay.
Aside from the chaos that just happened, it is a controlled mess. It's controlled because it's in line with the chaotic nature of the story that is going all over the place. Not that I know the full story, because it's not really a story about something, but it's not a story about specific 1, 2, 3.
And it has so many emotions, because at one point I'm feeling like, okay, like I'm feeling like I want to sway, and I'm there with the music. It's a different emotion. But then at one point I realize my brows are like this, and I'm like, there is a bit of
it's part of what he was talking
and
about.
anger and
Dude, even his
so
vocals.
many emotions.
His vocals would go from that,
Yeah, but I'm not even talking about the
I'm
vocals.
saying
of the-
even that is in line with that. Like sometimes even you see how he changed his voice towards the end? Looking out at the sky. He went into the completely, and the way it ended with hope. So the sound of the music was very hopeful and heavenly.
Yeah.
But in between, they had some struggles here and there, and some anger moments, something to do with destruction. So when you're talking about destruction, you have to bring in that sound.
Yeah.
I think it's a brilliant composition.
It's nice. It's very nice. I want to say 20 minutes for me is too long, but when you are listening to it, you're so immersed. You're really there. So it doesn't really feel that long. So
that's the whole point. 20 minutes is way too long.
And for me, I have never heard a composition like this.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like that's why specifically I wanted, and this is the closer of the album. Like this is the last track on the album. This is what you hear, and it ends the album, and it's the title track. That's the name of the album.
But the singing is not new to me. The singing is very 90s.
I didn't say it's new.
No, I'm just saying, like the singing reminds me of the 90s.
That's fine. The singing isn't entirely new, but the way he fluctuates his voice and goes from this tone to this tone, and he has amazing control of his voice. Even when he went high, it was still easy on the ears. There are certain pitches I'm not a big fan of. I don't mind him. Like that's one of the things I actually have a problem with Dream Theater, especially live. James, and he tend to go high. When he goes highest, I don't like his voice because he struggles with that. Here, this guy was singing really easy out. Like it was very easy control. How Floor, she has it's almost too easy.
Yeah.
She just knows.
Effortless.
Yeah, it's like she has certain controls. Like, okay, I need to go high. The song needs me to go high, then I'll go high. Only when the song really requires. Like she has to go and scream. Like I don't remember the name of the song. Which one was it? But that was a difficult song to sing. Us perceiving it and her performing it. So there are certain difficulties. But like generally, it's a breeze almost.
Yeah. No, that was.
So that was a.
Yeah. Are all their songs like this? Symphony X? Like.
No, not at all. This was the first time I ever heard a song like this. That's why it stood out to me, and that's why I wanted you to hear it, because there are another song, like multiple songs on this album, which are, in terms of composition, they are slightly straightforward. They don't have so much of very snaky, it goes from here. But this one is like a play almost. It's like multiple chapters, and they hint towards the chapters by giving you the breaks of instruments, and then the instrument itself stops sometimes, and then only the bass will play a little bit, or the keyboard will play a little bit. You know what I mean? Like it's like an interlude, or telling you, okay, now moving on to the next, chapter or next section. Anyways, interesting.
Very.
All right, we probably will do this as a frequent thing, once a week, once every 2 weeks.
Yeah. And I
Just
think
a
this is
revisit.
a good introduction to something, at least for me, like to sounds
And
that
a
I don't
revisit
know
for
of,
me.
or bands that I don't know
100%.
of.
And it's a revisit. Again, I haven't heard this in literally more than 10, 15 years maybe. So I'm really surprised. More than that. I'm really surprised how much I do remember out of it. And we will do probably visits of some of the classicer sounds some of the OG, sounds here and there. It doesn't matter what the genre is.
Yeah.
We'll do this whether requested or otherwise. This is just
This is
our
for
thing.
us. No, this is
Yeah, this
for
is
us.
our thing. And if you all enjoy it, then that makes it even that much more fun. I hope you have watched this again.
Till the end.
Hashtag THG. Do you let us know? Let us know if there's something like this you would like us to check out.
Yeah, and we're happy to do
and do let us know. We would be very interested, specifically me personally, if you know of this band, of this album, or this song actually. Otherwise, do let us know what's your opinion. You liked it? Was it too long for your taste? You absolutely hate it? Let's not visit it again. The average song length of this album is roughly around 4 minutes. So this is an
this is an
entirely different experience. This is a worth of like 5 songs.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you
Great.
very much
Thank
for
you for
watching. If you
watching.
have, like if you did, see you on the next one.
The Habibi gang, running up the chat, make the place go bang. No ghosting round.